My name is Kiara. You can call me Key, and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about a movie that I watched and I have nobody to talk about it with, okay? It's called Riff Raff. I know when you hear Riff Raff, you think about that white man with the cornrows and the grills, but it has absolutely nothing to do with him, okay? This movie came out in 2024 and it's a dark comedy / crime movie. And when I tell you, I was blown away that I had not heard anything about this movie because let me tell you who's in it. Ed Harris, Bill Murray, all right. Jennifer Coolidge, Gabrielle Union, Pete Davidson. I was like, oh, I gotta watch this movie. I didn't even read the synopsis, okay? So I'm just gonna jump right into it with y'all, like how I jumped into it with Hulu. Anyways, so the movie starts off and we have a little voiceover from one of the characters, DJ. DJ says he's starting college at Dartmouth soon. He doesn't have a girlfriend and he generally avoids conflict. But the image that we're seeing on the screen at the same time as his voiceover is DJ with what pointed in an old white man's face, and the old white man's like, go ahead, pull the trigger, son. Now I'm thinking, is this one of those make my day moments? Or like, what's going on here? I don't know what is going on. I know this got to be DJ. This got to be DJ, but he said he avoids conflict. So what he got this blicky in this man's face for? Let's rewind. Now the next scene, we hear some commotion going on inside of a restaurant, but we're outside of the restaurant. We don't know what's happening inside the restaurant. We see a couple run out, a man and a woman. She's like, come on, baby, we gotta go. They hop in the car, they skirt off. What is going on? Our next scene, we see someone runs into this man's kitchen, all in a huff. He's like, Lefty. Oh my God, it was a bloodbath. What is happening? Okay, let's start the story for real. DJ, played by Miles J. Harvey, is standing with his stepfather, Vincent, played by Ed Harris, and they're trying to shoot a chipmunk. DJ cannot pull the trigger. All right, that's okay, son. Let's go in, let's have a beer. They get to chit-chatting. DJ tells Vincent that his ex-girlfriend called him. He's like, what does she want? You know? That girl, she's no good for you. You treated her great all the way up to senior year, and then she dumps you right before prom for some soccer player. That's not right. And then Vincent starts going into a tangent about DJ's biological father. He says, you know, when I met your mother, I thought I wasn't good enough for her. And she was with your biological dad. He was a piece of shit. He ain't say it like that, but that's how I'm saying it. He's a piece of shit. He was cheating on her. And guess what? He died in a car crash cheating on her. Now, this is all news to DJ. DJ didn't even know that Vincent knew his biological father, all right? So he just tucks that piece of information in the back of his mind. He's like, oh, damn, I didn't know none of that. Okay, cool. This is when his mom comes home, Gabrielle Union. Sandy comes in. She's like, hey, come help me with the groceries. All right, cool. Now, later that night, everybody's sleeping. And then we hear a knock on the door. This startles DJ. He grabs the bat. He goes to the door. Who is it? It's Rocco. He opens the door. It's his stepbrother. It's Vincent's son. Vincent's biological son. And he has a very pregnant girlfriend with him. Okay? They say, oh man, we've been driving for a while. Like, it was hard for us to find this place. We went to the house, but you weren't there. DJ says, yeah, we always do New Year's here at the vacation house. You know, if you would have said something, I could have sent you a map. I made a very detailed topographical map. Now, remember that, because that's going to come into play later. And Rocco says, DJ, come help me get something out of the car. What are they getting out of the car, you might ask? Vincent's mother, Ruth, played by Jennifer Coolidge. She is passed out. She is gone. They had to lift her ass up and throw her on the couch. Okay? At this point, Vincent has already come out. He's like, what is going on here? Who are you? Because all he sees is this pregnant woman. And she's like, oh, I'm Rocco's girlfriend, Marina. And he's like, okay, what the hell is happening? Rocco, why are you here? Like, what's going on? Let me talk to you real quick. You can tell they have a very strained relationship, okay? Because DJ said he hadn't seen the man in years. So that'll tell you a little something. But it is what it is. Vincent's like, look, y'all gotta leave in the morning. Y'all gotta leave tomorrow. He's like, all right, cool. Everybody goes to bed. The next morning, DJ, he goes on his little morning run. He gets in the house. He sees that Ruth is still smack passed out. He goes over to check on her. And when I tell y'all, he is all in that lady's face. He's like this close to her face. So she pop up with a knife to his neck. She's like, who are you? Where am I? And she's very confused. He's like, no, it's DJ. Remember me. You're at my house. She's like, oh, what the hell? What am I doing here? But I don't blame her for waking up on the defense. Because if I woke up and someone was this close in my face, like, I don't care if it was my mama. I'm like, back up. Okay? Back up. Anyways, at this point, his Sandy walks in. She's like, what the hell is going on? What is my husband's ex-wife doing here? Ruth doesn't even know what she's doing here. She's like, I think I was drugged. I don't know what the hell I'm doing here. Out pops Rocco. He's like, hey, we were just coming to visit. Sandy's like, okay. That was kind of weird to me because I feel like as my husband, Vincent, you should have woke me up last night. I don't care how good I was sleeping. Wake me up and let me know what's going on. Or at least in the morning when we get up, like tell me, hey, my son and my ex-wife are here. You know, let me know what's happening. There's no reason that she should have known what was going on. Next thing you know, we see Marina cooking breakfast for everybody. She said she just cooks when she's nervous. Okay, cool. So they start talking about love and men and how they knew their men were the ones and their first kisses with their men and everything. And DJ says something that prompts Marina to ask, who was she? Like, what was the name of the girl that broke your heart? I can tell someone broke your heart. This is when Sandy starts giggling. It was Brittany. Oh my gosh, she was so heartbroken. Why are you laughing at this boy's heartbreak? See, that don't sit right with DJ. That upsets him a little bit because then he says, okay, well, if dad was the one, what happened with my biological dad? Oh, is it because he was cheating on you so he don't count? DJ, why did you say that? Like, oh my God, you really mad. You really mad. At this point, Vincent walks in and Sandy's like, you two, I need to talk to y'all. She pretty much snaps at Vincent. She's like, how dare you? Like, what gives you the right to tell my son my business? It's like, oh, damn, he your son now. We've been together 19 years. Okay, I've been in this boy's life since he was born, but now he just your son. He called me dad, but now he just your son. All right. But I understand why she's mad because, like, why would you tell him that? Why would you tell him the cheating stuff? But it seems like they don't say anything about the biological father. So it's kind of like the boy needs to know about his biological father. Okay, he didn't even know that Vincent knew his bio dad. He didn't know nothing about his bio dad. Sandy says, look, I gotta run some errands. Who wants to come with me? DJ goes, Rocco and Marina goes. This leaves Vincent and Ruth by themselves in the house. Let's go back to Lefty and Lonnie. What are they up to, right? They pull up to this store because Lonnie wants a little snack. And while they're in the store, this little country store, you know, it's a little country, little gas station type store. They get into it because Lonnie been farting. Lonnie been tearing the car up and Lefty is not appreciating it. But while they're having their little bicker match, they say each other's names. They're like, dang, you said my name and the cashier's right there. Okay. So he asked the cashier, did you happen to catch our names? The cashier's like, oh, yeah. Lonnie and Lefty. Yeah, I heard it. Damn, cashier, you gotta be more, you gotta have some situational awareness, buddy. That cashier had no awareness at all because then Lonnie asked Lefty, oh, do we need to, and Lefty's like, oh, no, you don't kill people over a name. And plus, there's always cameras around. Look, there's a camera right there. Lefty is talking to a cashier, and the cashier's like, oh, yeah, you know, you and your son. Lefty's like, that's not my son. Why would you think he's my son? You know my son? What do you know about my son? And the cashier's like, oh, no, I just assumed. I'm sorry, you know. Oh, and that camera doesn't work. I heard you and your son. Well, he's not your son. Boom! Lefty done shot the cashier. Now, cashier, why the hell would you tell these people that the cameras don't work? Nobody needs to know that the cameras don't work but you. The cameras are there as a deterrent. Now, what's the point of a deterrent if you just gonna tell people that the cameras don't? That's why your ass got shot. Lonnie's like, what the hell? I thought we weren't gonna kill him just over a name. Lefty's like, oh, he mentioned my son and I got triggered. Lonnie's like, what does he know about Johnny? He's like, nothing. I think it was just a misunderstanding. But now we see the type of people that we're dealing with, okay? We see the type of people that we're dealing with. These are dangerous people. We pan back to Vincent and Ruth. They're having a chat, okay? And Ruth tells Vincent, Lefty came to the house the other day. She came home. Lefty and Lonnie were sitting in her kitchen. They asked where's Rocco. She said that she didn't know. And they're like, okay, when you see him, tell him I said hello. And they leave. Vincent's like, okay, well, here's the thing. Lefty knows where I live. Lefty knows my house. He doesn't know where my vacation house is, but he does know where my house is because he did me a favor before. She's like, what was the favor? He's like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But, you know, y'all can't stay around here much longer. Okay, we gotta figure out a plan. Ruth is like, what are we gonna do? Grabs this man's crotch. He's like, what are you doing? What's going on? She's like, oh, I'm sorry. I just get horny when I'm scared. I'm like, oh my God. He's like, I'm married. Get your hands off of me. She's like, nobody you'll know. It's just us two. Why you gonna let something that hard go to waste? Girl, get yourself together, please. Now we see what the family's up to. They're out shopping and everything. DJ and Marina have a nice little conversation where Marina tells DJ how she knew that Rocco was the one and everything. And then as we walk outside, Rocco is on the phone with someone. He's clearly upset. He kicks a sign and Marina's like, look, I'm feeling ill. So I'm going to have Rocco take me home. Is that okay? Sandy's like, yeah, that's fine. DJ's like, can I ride with him? Can I ride with him, please? She's like, okay. He runs and jumps in the car with them. Now, while they're in the car, stuff's getting hectic. She's like, who were you on the phone with? Like, what happened? He's like, don't worry about it. It's fine. She's like, give me the piece. He's like, and DJ, he's like, what's going on? Who's following you? What piece? What? And Rocco's like, hey, kid, if I want to hear something from you, I'll smack it out of you. Damn, why you gotta yell at the kid? Why you gotta yell at the kid? And that's what Marina tells him. She's like, don't yell at him. He's a good kid. Leave him alone. So when they pull back up to the house, DJ's feelings are hurt. He walks off. Rocco ends up going after him, and they have like a nice little brotherly bonding moment. They drink a couple of beers, and DJ asks, how did you meet Marina? And Rocco tells this story of how he saw this girl with some big boobs at the bar. And he brought her back to his place. They're about to get it on. But this girl, she is crazy. She just throwing herself all over his house. She picks up his axe. She's waving it around. And then she's like, oh my gosh, you have a loft. She goes up the stairs, falls off the stairs. Both of them fall off the stairs. He looks at this girl. This girl's nose is crooked as hell. Broke her nose. He's like, she blamed me for it. So he throws the girl in her car, drives her to the hospital. He scoops her up. He's taking her into the emergency room. He's like, what do I see? 3 cops. So that spooks him. He drops the girl. He tries to run, but the cops tackle him. And next thing you know, he's handcuffed in a hospital bed. That's when Marina enters. She's a nurse. And they had met before. They met at Lefty's party, Lefty's birthday party. She used to date Lefty's son, Johnny. But they've broken up now, and she does her little thing with her little bobby pin and uncuffs him from the hospital bed, and he runs away from the hospital. Okay, and that's how they met. After Rocco tells DJ the story of how he and Marina left, Vincent pops up, and it's time for Rocco to tell Vincent what exactly happened and why they are there. Okay, because he knows that something is going on, especially with Lefty looking for him. So Rocco tells the story. He says that he met Marina, he liked her, but Johnny, Lefty's son had dated her first, so he asked permission to pursue her. Johnny gives his permission. He says it's all right. Okay, cool. They go run off into the sunset. She gets pregnant and everything. And everything was cool up until the day before they came. So what happened was they were at a restaurant having lunch. In walks Johnny. Rocco was about to go to the bathroom, but he sees Johnny, so he sits back down. Johnny comes over. He's like, "Hey, what are y'all up to?" You know, they chit chat a little bit, and he's like, "Yeah, Rocco, go ahead." While Rocco's in the bathroom, he hears a commotion going on outside. He runs out, and Johnny is on top of Marina, got her pinned down on the floor. He's like, "What the hell is going on?" He yanks Johnny off of his pregnant girlfriend. Mind you, this woman is 8 months pregnant, you know? Yanks her off. Johnny pulls out the blicky. And he tells Rocco, throw your weapon away, okay? And now you're going to choose. I'm going to either shoot her in the head or I'm going to shoot her in the stomach. You got to choose one. Why is this happening? We have no idea. We have no idea, but Rocco is not finna let this go down. He ends up taking some metal pole and beating the fuck out of Johnny, obviously, and killing the man. You gotta be prepared for what's gonna come. How you got a gun and you let someone beat you with a metal bar? It is what it is. He got what he deserved. Either way, Vincent's like, okay, yeah, your life is definitely on the line. He's like, you know, you can't stay here. Like, Lefty, he doesn't know where this house is, but he does know where my main house is. And even though we're 2 hours away, you know, I just don't want to risk it. Rocco's like, I don't have any money. Vincent tells him, look, I got $100K in a safety deposit box. I'm going to give it to you. He's like, you do that for me? He's like, well, yeah, you're my son. And I don't want you messing up what my family got going on over here. It's like, oh, come on now, Vincent. You couldn't just leave it at "you're my son." That was like the most heartwarming moment that these two had together. They're celebrating the new year. They're popping fireworks. They're eating. And they know that tomorrow, Rocco's going to be gone with his girl and his mama. And hopefully living a better life, right? Safe from danger. While all of this is going on, we check back in with Lonnie and Lefty. And guess what? They have pulled up to Vincent's house. Okay. They get to the door. It's unlocked. Lonnie's like, who leaves the door unlocked when they're not home? Lefty's like, someone who lives in a community like this. They're in one of those bourgeois communities. They live a very like upper echelon lifestyle, you know. I guess people don't be locking their doors when they live in a community like that. They look around, and while they're looking around the house, guess what? A couple of nosy neighbors pop over with some cookies, and they're like, oh my God, we saw y'all coming up the walkway, and we figured you might need some help. You know, sometimes Vincent, he puts these lights on timers. Like, they literally tell all these people's business. Tell all these people's business. Lonnie and Lefty are like, do you know where they are? Well, they always go to the cabins for New Year's. And Lonnie and Lefty asked for an address, and guess what? They said, you know what? There's a highly detailed map. Remember I told y'all that DJ made the highly detailed topographical map? Yeah, they find that in the house, and they give it to Lonnie and Lefty. And they're like, oh yeah, you can surprise them. That would have made me so mad because, like, as my neighbors, why are you telling people my business? As my neighbors, why are you popping over to my house like these people that you've never even seen before? And then, look, let me tell you, the cherry on top, these two are so suspicious. They're so suspicious. And the woman asks, oh, I didn't even get your names. Lefty says, oh, my name's Roger. Okay, Roger. Looks over to Lonnie. And your name? Why Lonnie say his name, Roger, too? They're like, oh my God, y'all got the same name. That's so funny. That's not funny. That's suspicious as hell. These neighbors give Lonnie and Lefty the map and send them on their way. As they're sitting in the car, Lefty's like, Go kill those two morons. Lonnie's like, I thought you didn't kill people you don't know. And Lefty's like, no, they got on they need to be killed. Which they really did, because just for you telling my business. Lonnie's like, oh man, I dropped my Glock. Guess who comes knocking on the car window? Hey, you left your gun? You left your gun? They're like, oh, thanks. Can I pop back in there to use the bathroom? They're like, oh yeah, sure. Yeah, they go back into the house with them. You just hear pop, pop, pop. Now they did. Good riddance. I wouldn't want no neighbors like that. We pop back over to the vacation house to see what our family's up to, and pretty much everyone's getting it on. Okay, Sandy and Vincent are getting it on. So when DJ comes to sleep in a room, as he has been the past couple of nights, he hears the moaning and groaning, and he's like, ugh. He goes to take a little walk, and he sees through the window that Rocco and Marina are getting on. And while he's just taking in all of the beautiful voluptuousness of Marina's chi-chis, he gets a surprise. Lonnie says, hey, knocks him out. When he comes to, everybody's sitting in the living room and they're being held at gunpoint. Lefty has a big shotgun and Lonnie has his gun as well. They're like, where's Rocco? Rocco pops out. Ah! But it's not helping. It's not helping. They're like, sit the hell down. So he sits down. And then Lefty, he starts talking about family and legacy and how, you know, a man wants to live forever and you do that by having children. And he tells us about the last conversation that he had with his son, Johnny. Johnny comes into the house and he tells his dad, you know, remember that chick I was dating, Marina? Well, you know, we broke up. She wanted kids. I wanted a kid, but I can't have kids. He's like, what are you telling me? Is it a homo thing? Or you can't get hard? Don't nobody want to hear that, Daddy. Don't nobody want to hear that. Why would you say that to him? And he's like, no, like I'm shooting blanks. I can't get anyone pregnant. And so Lefty's like, get the fuck out of my house. He talked shit to the man. And I guess that's pretty much what set him off is knowing that he can't have kids. And his dad said these terrible things to him. And, you know, the girl that he was with and who did want a baby now is having a baby with this other guy that he knows, you know? So I guess that set him off and made him jealous and made him want to hurt Rocco as much as he had been hurting, even though that's not the right thing to do. Either way, Lefty says, so, you know, when he heard that Rocco had killed his son and that was the last conversation that they had, it really hurt him deep. And so he's like, you know what? So now we're going to see if 3 wrongs can make a right. So you get to pick who we're going to shoot first. Okay, so Vincent volunteers to go first. And he's like, but Lefty, I want you to do it. And Lefty's like, okay, yeah, we'll do it. But not right now. I'm going to let you choose because it looks like you got one too many wives here. So which wife? And Vincent's like, oh, I'm sorry, Ruth. Ruth said, damn, you ain't even think about it for a second? Like, golly. Ruth gets escorted out by Lonnie. And he takes her to the woods. Now, Ruth, she got a little ace up her sleeve. She got a little knife tucked. So she asks for a cigarette. And while he's getting the cigarette, she pulls out her knife. But he says to her, hey, look, lady, I'm only going to say this because I think you're nice. And you gave me the best space ziti I've ever had. If you miss me with that knife, I'm going to make you suffer for it. So she just turns around and he shoots her in the back. Now, the thing about that really threw me off is that y'all are gangsters. Why do you care about taking them out of the house and taking them, you know, to the woods to shoot them? Well, you could have just shot her right there on the couch. Like, y'all don't care about traumatizing these people, obviously, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. Anyways, Lonnie comes back in, and now it's Rocco's turn to be killed. Rocco goes out. Rocco got a little ace up his sleeve. He got him a little gun tuck. So while he's, about to get shot, Ruth pops up out of nowhere and stabs Lonnie in the leg. He shoots at her, and then he shoots at Rocco. Rocco shoots at him. Everybody's laid out. I do not know how the hell Ruth was alive. Did she have on a bulletproof vest or something? Did I miss that part? Did I miss that part? We go back inside the house, and Lefty is letting some secrets fly. Because he says, DJ looks kind of familiar. It's like, actually, me and Vincent, we used to kill people together. That's what we used to do. But then he decided he didn't want nothing to do with me no more. Gave me a bunch of money, told me to leave him alone. Until one day he randomly called me up and he needed some help making someone disappear. He wanted to make it look like a car accident, and the man sure looks a lot like you, DJ. What? Wait, what's going on? What's going on? Vincent, you killed DJ's daddy because you want to be with his mama? Vincent tells the story. He was like, look, the guy, he was cheating on you. He was messing around. I just wanted to scare him. So he goes to a hotel, well, a motel, a no-tell motel, where DJ's biological father had been hooking up with some woman. He pops up on him, boom, punches him in the face. The man falls backwards, hit his head, dies instantly. He's like, I didn't even hit him that hard. It was an accident. I just wanted to scare him. But everyone's like, what the hell? You killed my dad. You killed my dad. Sandy's like, you killed DJ's dad. You killed DJ's dad. Now, with this revelation, Lefty decides he can take advantage of it. He says, you know what? DJ, come here. Grab the gun. I'm going to let you shoot him. You kill him. He killed your dad. Now you kill him. And DJ, that shy kid in the beginning that couldn't even kill the chipmunk, he has it pointed right at Vincent. And you know what he does? Quick turn. He ends up shooting Lefty. And quickly, Vincent grabs the gun from him and empties the clip into Lefty. Next thing you know, Rocco's running in. Rocco's shot. He's like, he's coming. He's behind me. Lonnie runs in with his gun, but Vincent blows him away. Okay? DJ's like, we need an ambulance. Marina's like, no ambulance. Of course, because there's a lot of shiesty stuff going on here, okay? It's a lot of shiesty, crazy stuff going on here. But Vincent turns around, and guess what? Now Sandy got the blicky in his face. He's like, what's going on? What are you doing? She's like, we were in love. You killed him. He loved me. Which, girl, I mean, he did love you. He didn't deserve to die like that. But at the same time, he was cheating on you. He didn't lie about that part. He just lied about the car crash part. He was cheating on you. Okay, so it don't make it right, but I don't know how much he loved you. Okay, next thing you know, boom, gunshot straight to damn Vincent's neck. He falls down. It's Ruth. Ruth done shot him. What the hell? Next scene, Vincent's waking up in the bed, bandaged up. He has an IV. He strolls out to the kitchen. He sees Ruth sitting at the table. She's bandaged up. DJ's like, Dad, you're okay. He says, how long have I been down? It's like a few weeks. All right. So he sits down at the table. Everyone comes and sits at the table. And Rocco hands him his grandchild. He says, it's Rocco Jr. And he holds the baby. And then it fades to black. And that was the end of the movie. When I tell you, I did not know what to expect going into this movie. But everyone gave a great performance. It was so funny. That's the thing. There's so many funny lines in there. And there's so many funny situations. And it's like, how can you make this plot so funny like that? They did a great job. I loved it. I definitely recommend you watching it. Like, I will do no justice. But until next time, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and follow me on my other socials if you want. It is what it is, you know, no pressure, no pressure, you know. And I will see you in another video.